Hey everybody, I'm Emma and I'm the artist behind Unsteady Art. I would really appreciate it if you did like, subscribe and comment on this, so please feel free. So, what have I been doing? A lot of commission work. So one of the commission works for Remie, which I introduced last week just to sort of get what I do for commission work. So I've already touched on getting the actual design digitised, the coloration, because he wanted three different pieces, but it's technically the same design, just 3 colours. That is how it's been designed, and it goes on particular colour garments as well. So we've found the colours. I will be showing you in this one how I stitched it out, and yeah, it's all go. So let's get on to part 2. Hi, so this is a continuation from Remie's garments. So we've done as first test strip the last bit I showed, and that was the outcome of that one. So when looking at it, it did use pretty much the whole of my hoop, at least width-wise, which when we put it against Remie, who's is a slim fit, it didn't quite look right. And then when I've put it against my son, because he's an extremely thin size, it was going past his body. So when it were great for the bigger sizes, not great for the smaller ones, and we need one that's kind of in between. So the next one that we did was this one. So after the first one there were a bit of misalignments, so it's just where the fabric kind of stretches out when it's sewed, so you just need to get them back in line, whether that's moving the background colour, whether or not that's moving the lines. It just depends on where it is and how it's working. I also had a very big kind of bump here where it's scrunched up the fabric, so I had to try and work that out. So I did maximise the blue underneath it, because I've done it quite of an awkward way round. So I've done the red on the inside first, then the blue on the outside of that, and then the red on the outside of that. And the reason why I did it in that order is because if you do all the red, for example, the blue would have to hopefully sit, and that's where you can get a lot of pinching and grabbing. So to avoid that, I stepped that up like that. So it was just a case of maximising the blue out a little bit, just so it had a flatter plane to look at. So the third stitch out was this one, which oh so close, and I mean oh so close, it's like bits like this bit here where it wasn't quite hitting where it needed to be. And then finally just done this morning, which is this one here, which is very minimal misalignment. And as much as I hate to admit it, you're always going to have a little bit of it, because each material that you use will slightly change, will slightly alter where it sits. So as long as you've got it to the point where there's nothing more that you can physically do, then that's a point I need to get to, which I have already. So now it is a case of putting it onto the actual garments. So he has said that he wants to do the black one first, because there's 3 different colours to this. There's black with the red design, a green with the, it's like an ash grey, and then the last one, which is a purple one, on a navy, because the purple has got quite a bit of blue in it. So the blue on the wording this time round, it's a very deep one, and then you've got the lighter purple at the back. So yeah, it's just a case of going on with it now. So yeah, let's go. So before I start all of this, there is another thing that is asked me to do as well. So after looking at the other stuff that I do, there is some sticker sheets he's wanting to have done. Some with his logo, some with them designs on it, other designs that he's had. So I'm going to split them all up and stitch them basically back together, so at least then the backing and the sticker can be cut out separate but in the same style, if you know what I mean. You'll find out anyway. So yeah, let's go on with that too. So this is a AS colour crew neck. Is a medium size. So he's wanting it from where the collar bit is 2¼ inches. So just need to measure that out. So all I do is just use a little bit of masking tape just to be able to get the right. Go. Just going to lift that side up a little bit, and it is just because if I can get that straight I can at least vision it a bit better, but it's not the end of the world. So there we go. It has got a centre tag, so you know that going down that would be your centre. So let's get it hooped up. So I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to grab my hoop and my masking tape, because I'd love to say that I can afford to have the parts that just clip these in. As much as I do spend an absolute fortune on mighty hoops, it is well worth the money. But I'd rather have hoops at the moment than try and use cheaper ways of doing aiding that than anything else, because I really struggle to try and hoop on normal scenarios where this just clips in. So I'm quite willing to pay the prices so I know full well that it's going to last me a while. Whether or not I get them later on, possibly. Would I prefer a different size hoop? Definitely. Because at the moment I'm using this big one, and there is ones that's kind of generally designed for logos of this amount. So all I'm doing here is just trying to make it line up. So I have put little marks on these that indicate where the centre are from these parts, because it's the only part that actually doesn't have them. Everything else I can't complain at. But it just means hooping is a lot easier. So behind here I have got my stabiliser. I always try and match the garment colour with the stabilisers. I'm a little bit particular about that. I think it looks strange when you're looking at it and it's got white stabiliser on. Just as much as I'd rather use a cutaway on garments, because I know full well it keeps the stitches in place longer, especially when it comes to not just stitching out, but when you're washing it, when you're ironing it, when you're doing all the usual day to day, so it does then last a lot longer than what it usually would. So once again, my lovely amount of masking tape that I use, but it does the job. double-sided on one, but it doesn't matter. So all I'm doing now is getting my garment back out, and all I'm trying to do is just hoop it from the centre onwards first time, because at least then it means that everything does work out. With it being a medium as well, it is a bit easy to guide, just for the fact that it's not mass amounts of fabric. When the bigger the garment, the more it's can alter and you don't really realise it. So all I'm doing now is one, getting it dragged down, so that is where my centre line is. The bits here just need to line up. I need to make sure that the hoop can go on. So this at the moment would mean that the hoop is on that fabric. So what I'm going to do is just lift it up as best I can. So that is in, but it's not hooping the collar because that can shift the material as well. So now I've done that bit, I'm just going to go down and just kind of shuffle it around so I can see roughly where the sides are. And roughly where that is. Then all I do is get that. Just make sure on the Melco machines it is different for each machine. It's the toggly bit for the Melco, so that needs to be up and in that corner. So you see how I've done it, and it's gone a bit like that. So all I'm going to do is just carefully take it off. So I've carefully taken it off and just re-putting it back on. What I'm going to do is just pull this just a little bit tighter down here, just to keep it in place. There we go. So I'm not pulling it very taut. So, yep. So let's get on with stitching it. So what I'm doing here is just trying to get the centre line up to the line. Not the centre line, the edge of the design up to the line. So if I do it from here, it is going to be miles out because I haven't altered it. All I've done is just set it to be in the centre of the hoop. So what I'm going to do now is just push it up and then try again. So you just keep doing this until you actually hit the top of the line. Morning again, everyone. So garments have gone barring one, which is the grey one for the green design. So, and that is waiting on thread. So I need to place the order today for that one. I'm kind of postponing just by a few days for the caps and the other garments, and that's just because the one of the caps that I need isn't on, but it says 3 to plus days, so hopefully that actually gets put on stock before I order. If not, it's LV. So got the stickers to do for Remie. I've also got to do a stitch out for one of the other designs that I'm ordering for the t-shirts, and yeah, and then I might get back to my own stuff when I'm waiting. So yeah, that'd be interesting. So yeah, let's get on with it. Welcome back, everyone. So one of the reasons why I did this video like I did today is because I've actually been doing some more of his work. So there has been some new caps as well as the old kind of incorrect, but the original pieces that I did, because I have been doing bits between as well, which hopefully I can show you somewhere along here. So we've done these are crew necks. So the red design is on the black, with the white hat. So it's stark contrast, but I have to admit it works really, really well. So that's that one. We've got what I class as the purple one. It's just because it is my colours that's in background, so I've got a little bit of a bias towards this one. So this is done on the navy, which is similar to the middle one. So the hat is one of the grey hats. It's been bleached and then dyed purple, and this is what I ended up with that. So that and that. We've then got heather grey crew neck with the pink and green design, which is with this hat. So this hat was actually one that went wrong, and I've just kind of tidied it up a bit just so he can still use it, even though it did go horribly wrong. And it's because it was when the cap attachment started to detach, because I didn't realise it wasn't fully connected in. So everything kind of minimalised across. So what I've done is just inputted the green into a hand stitch just so it can still use it then. So yeah, those two go together. So this is still the grey hat. This is what it is when it's bleached. So bleached for a long time, it goes this yellow colour. Bleached for a short time and washed, it will actually go very pink. So you can see it a bit more here. So where the bits are here, it can go very, very pink. Might actually have an image on here as well, but not 100% sure on that. So yeah, this is the end of this video. If you did like this, please like, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear some of the comments of what you think about this. And yeah, see if anyone recognises it who's bought it from Remie. Bye.